Chaya. Ba-da-bam. Pow. Booyah! What up, you guys? Welcome back to another one of these videos. Today we're going to talk about kick-ups. Okay, some tips on kick-ups when the clubs are slipping away. I got this question and I wanted to know about how to prevent the club from not slipping out. So when you have slippery clubs, slippery socks, is there something that you can do? And yes, they tried some spray, on some sticky spray on the pants and the shoes, or like rubber bar soap on the socks. Those can work, but it's not necessary. Now, first of all, yes, it will have an effect. If you have slippery clothes, it can be much more difficult. So, and also if you have slippery clubs, depending on the clubs that you have, it can be very slippery as well. So, first of all, you have the option of getting different clubs. If you have very slippery clubs, if the material is very slippery, you can have different clubs just for kick-ups. Like, who was the juggler? Evgeny Bilyauer. He did his finale like sort of like an encore trick. He comes with 3 clubs and just do a lot of kick-ups with 3 clubs, and that was his finale. Sort of like an encore trick. And you can have a different set for that. Like if you do a lot of kick-ups, you can totally have a different set of clubs for that. Like I think he did. I'm not 100% sure, but I think he had different clubs for kick-ups. But even if you have or don't, you can have. That was the point. So the clubs matter. If it's very slippery, and you can see how slippery they are, you can just rub it on your clothes. See how different clubs feel, okay? And also, you can make them dirty, which I don't recommend. I recommend keeping them clean. But if you make them dirty, sticky, that can help a lot. Now, the other thing is your pants. Like, I'm not sure what kind of pants are good, but yeah, having a stickier pants, like you can, again, you can try it out, see how sticky they are. It helps. And also the socks, if you're on with your socks, having a thicker, like I've noticed I have these dress socks now on, which are like thin and very elastic. They are usually very, very slippery. What I found that works better, if you have socks on, is these tennis socks, work socks that are thicker, like when people for sports and stuff. Okay, those are usually a little bit more rough and not as sticky. Sorry, not as slippery. So they're usually better. What I found. Having shoes on, like some, you know, like those dancing shoes or these that you slip on, they can help a lot. If they have like a leathery cover, they help a lot because the leather for the non-stick, very, very good. Make it non-slippery, sorry. Yeah, so the point is that you can find clothes and good clubs that are less sticky. But it's still mostly about your technique. Like you can do very, very slippery and still do it. So I gotta put wool socks on. These are like super, super slippery. So the clubs just slide away, okay? So I'm gonna put these on and show you, yeah, you can do still kick-ups. So that's here, you can do kick-ups. You can do these, you have to focus more, but you can totally do kick-ups. Now, again, it is gonna be more difficult. You have to focus more on your technique if you have very slippery everything, but it's still doable. I would say it's mostly about technique. Like 80% technique, 20% your clothes. So now let's talk about technique. I'm gonna explain a little bit about preventing the slippery. And then I'm gonna show you a close-up view as well. So, first of all is you have to be able to do that. Okay? So you wanna know that you have flexibility enough. Sometimes it's just a bad technique that people do that because they don't have the flexibility in their ankle to hold it like that, okay? So their ankle is like this. So it's very hard to do the kick-up because there's nothing for it to hold on. So if you're like trying to hold the club like this, but if you have your leg like that, this cannot stay here. So if you have a big enough bend, the handle can stay up here, okay? So you have to be able to hold the club like that. Now, one thing that can help, if you bend the other leg as well, especially at the beginning when you're starting. So what you do, you take the knee a little bit inwards, and then you lift it up, okay? You cannot do it multiple times. What I mean like is, if you do it here, you come down, then you need to fix the club again. You hold it there again. And now it's super slippery, but you can still make it stay. So it's the knob that stays behind the leg. So also, if you have the club too much like this, there is no knob here, so it can slide away. But when you have the knob here, touching the leg, then you have much better grip. You sort of like have an extra leverage there. So the knob keeps it on the leg. So this is what you do when you have super slippery situation, okay? And also the angle of the club, it's not sideways. You put the handle go a little bit backwards and the body a little bit front. So you can see it's not like this, it's like that. Okay, so not sideways, but like this, and then you put it on. And then I'm gonna kick it there. Okay, and the other thing is being slow. So if you're being too fast with it, that can happen. So you have to be able to, you start it off so slowly to make sure that the club is in the correct position. Okay, now I do it too slow, but to make a point. So you put your leg a little bit backwards, you bend it, and you make sure that you have it in the correct position. So when you do go up, it's gonna attach the knob here on the leg, and you can bend enough your ankle to kick it up. So it's all about basically that. Making sure the club is in the correct position, not like that, going backwards, but going forward. Then you pull it back a little bit, so make sure that it's touching here in the leg, and then you go up, okay? So if you just go up here, it can get slippery very, very quickly. So you have to go down, back a little bit and up. So that's how you do it with the slippery. And obviously it's less and less. So if you have the club like this as well, sort of like a wrong way, when I pull it back, it corrects itself, okay? Let me show you from the close-up view. All right, so this is now the close-up view. So what we want to do always, have the club like that, and the handle is touching the leg. So when we catch it, we have to have it this way. So we pull back to make sure that the handle is touching the leg here, and the knob is on the foot, or on the leg, okay? So we can take it, pull back, and then we go slowly at the beginning, and then we do the kick up. So we don't want to be too quick when it's slippery. We want to take our leg back and then do the kick up. So even if you do it from a flip, from a throw, you catch it, you take it back, and then you do the kick up. So that prevents a lot of the slippery. And also the angle that you do the kick up into, okay? So you gotta be able to do that, and then it goes up from there. So yeah, that's it. And you know, just a quick recap. So pants, clothes, socks, they have an effect. Also the clubs that you use, they have an effect. But it's only about 20% effect. So I would recommend, again, getting a good, wear some shoes, some kind that helps you with, but it's mostly about the technique. So having flexible ankle enough, stretch your ankles, making sure that you're doing it slowly. Okay, the club is in the correct positions. You go first back to make sure that the angle is correct, and you have it on your leg here. And then you do the kick up. And it's the same thing when you do, you take it, and then you want to kick it up right away. If you have very, very slippery socks on, like I do now, I cannot be quick about it. It's very hard to do that. I can, but it's not as secure. So I just have to be slower if I want to do that kind of stuff with very, very slippery stuff on, okay? When I do here, it's more easy because there's the force of the handle going towards my leg, so it's easier to get in that position. But every time you do this, it's all about catching, pulling back a little bit, and up again. So if you do it here, or you do it in the air, and like I said, it's going to be difficult to do it in the air with very, very slippery, but you can still do it. So when you catch it, pull it back, kick it. Same in the ground, you catch it, pull it back, kick it. So it's about that technique. It's about taking the club, pulling it back so it's in the correct position, and then you kick it up, even with the wool socks on. That's it. If you want to know more about these kick-ups and like more in-depth explanations about different techniques, different kick-ups, definitely check out my online chuckling course, chucklingmastery.com. It does have lessons about kick-ups, different kick-ups, double kick-ups, cross-leg kick-ups, like all these different kick-ups that you can do. It does have more in-depth tutorials about all of those as well. But yeah, hopefully this answered your question about what to do with the slippery. It's mostly about the technique. So do try it out. And if you want to challenge yourself, get these wool socks and practice with these. So after these, you go to regular ones. You'll be fantastic. But anyways, that is it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.